Crossroads. Ah, final quest. Quest is the word I'm after. Final quest of the patch. What's going to happen to screw this all up? Well, it's possible that Shale's made some headway by now. Regardless, we should spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale? What do you have her working on? Galulja's mother? I'd feel the same in his shoes. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kikir we met may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. I needn't search for what she left behind because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Just as she carries that little charm. Is it going to zoom in on it? Yes, it is. Speaking of things you're carrying, is that a teeny tiny Kikir? What? No. It's merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it as good a souvenir as any. Whatever you say. What it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring it with you on your travels. Fussy little bun. Yes, well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? Thought I might join you for a time, see if there's aught I can do for the people there. Much change though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. Have you people moved? You must be exhausted. Shall I nip out for an energy tonic? So, Zaralja was conducting secret research in Yuiwatwatwatwa. I have some memories of the place from my childhood. Glad you're back. We wouldn't want to keep Galuja here waiting any longer than necessary. Envil is wearing his Kakiwa. That makes me happy. Looks like we arrived at a good time. Hello, Graha. Simple yet elegant solution. This is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shale has nearly finished processing the data. She'll be able to share her findings with us imminently. Oh, hey you. I'm interrupting something, I gather. Why, Stola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate in the Skydeep Cemetery for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. Well there, I thought I would do well to have the company of an expert on electro. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we're finished here. And, lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit.
I'm very entertained by this, by Stola here. Just because I've been playing, as I think I mentioned in a previous section, I've been playing through my original character. And obviously I'm just playing through the 2.x stuff at this point in time. And seeing the difference in Stola from 2.x, you know, she's a conjurer. I've just done the I've just done 2.2, so I've done Leviathan and all of that. To see the difference in her from that to this is quite entertaining. Anyway, Shale, sorry for interrupting.
But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so To answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Taishulja herself. While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
What is going to happen here? Something is going to happen here.
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
With some revelations for us.
My name is Taishulja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
His mother's voice, potentially. Probably.
Mother? Officially was a Virgin with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vitral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuyolal.
Huh.
I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja?
Ooh.
I admired him. His incontestable strength.
She had a crush, essentially.
He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him.
A bit creepy.
His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze
Answer.
would never fall upon me. I knew.
Yeah, he sought an answer to why he, for his existence as the miracle. Why he survived.
The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire.
A night with Zoralja.
Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long.
Is there going to be a revelation here that it's not actually her?
I hold a future in my arms. If you could see him, embrace him. Surely that would be enough.
Ah.
So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales. Oh, Blue.
He's your son.
My... No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't.
And we knew he had issues.
No! No! Get it away from me! Get that thing away from me!
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all.
But you'll forgive me for speculating on this, but how was the child conceived? Was it conceived naturally, or was it an experiment?
He'll come around. We'll be a happy family.
She's clearly delusional.
Kaniloka is shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
Parallels here with Kona's story.
That's all of them.
That's the last that was heard of her. I suspect Tishal Jar was put into the Tural Vidral, which is why we got the echo flashback there. And in fact...
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
Yeah, parallels with Kona's story are...
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamachi. Father and mother, they were both so lonely.
Mm-hmm.
If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try.
Yup.
I can't tell if I'm happier now.
But at least you know who your mother is.
But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
He's a wholesome child. Aww, even if he does look a little bit like a Blue Muppet. Yes, I think the flash, the echo flash that we got kind of reveals what a mess. If the dome had not appeared, Tishaja's tale would have been very different. Yet whether or not she would have been happier, I cannot say. You may find it hard to believe, but until the rite of succession, Sir Roger was a good brother to me, always. And I thought that Papa was the best father anyone could ask for. I don't want to think the time we spent together as a family was a lie, but by the same token the bitterness my brother harboured was all too real. It's okay. I wanted to know more about my parents, and now I do. And I don't regret it. I have Lamity, and Kona, and you, Temujin. Oh, I'm not lonely now. Bless you, you little muppet. Tishajar left written records as well. I'll compile them for Galulja. Perhaps something in them will be of comfort. No matter how brave a face Galulja puts on, I expect it will take him time to come to terms with this. He's a strong one, though. Didn't worry too much. Why leave such a record, you ask? I cannot be certain, but I believe Tishojar simply wanted someone to know how she felt. To understand. It's better to know. A profound response for one so young. Oh, I wish he didn't have to, eh? Galulja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. It is fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I got to hear my mother... Well, I don't know about the whole story, but you got to hear a chunk of it. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Galulja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what I can at present, I'm ready to head to living memory when you are. I am planning to be thorough. Yeah, of course she is. So, we will need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain overlong. I know we all have much and more to attend to. Do we? Have we got any other pressing concerns? Now, farewell. Can we get Shale's outfits? A word before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expected people would be clamouring to get on the first train back. Yet, the reaction has been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tuliyola were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard? If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at lane 09. Has there been a shift? Why would people suddenly not want to go unless they've had something piped to them through these black regulators? Yes, that's a little bit... yeah, a bit weird, that. But as I said, we don't have a conflict, particularly, so we need to be... there may still be people gathering in Praxis Park. Let's try there first.
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
Rebellion? Revolution? Souls issues?
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zaraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
It's a culture clash here, isn't there? Again, we're going back to that.
We'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function.
What is this look?
I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware.
Okay, yes. Here is the conflict then.
It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die.
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's
We're gonna
only
get the
gotten
blame,
worse.
aren't we?
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
What? What? What?
What?
Sphene!
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do. I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things are right.
Have they changed her outfit?
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever.
But backup program in the crown. What did you do, Gasso? Gas?
You
He
there, Gosson.
Gosson.
You were the Queen's aide, weren't
He
you?
doesn't seem surprised by this, so...
What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral?
Oh.
Her Majesty.
Oh.
What a curious jest. You know full well that...
Oh, somebody's manipulating their memories.
Lost during the attack of
And it's not him. So is it Sphene or is it something else?
Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution.
Oh.
All of us shall be made endless. I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute.
Oh, the numbers.
5,000 in all. One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us.
And you don't have one.
You
Chris.
troll! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
I am Sphene. the Queen of Reason.
Uh-huh. Ooh. Uh-oh. Calm.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
That's nice pretty beads in her hair. I hadn't noticed those before. Yes, the crackling monitor. Yes, I was kind of hoping that the crown was going to lead to a kind of positive backup, but it seems that that is very much not the case. There's naught to report yet, but we have all eyes and ears out in Everkeep Heritage found. Sphene was erased. When she's back, then are the Endless... Seriously, what was that? Without the Mesa terminal, how does she propose to create a new Endless? We must contact Stola. Yeah, so the entire populace's memories have been altered. Well, those wearing the regulators. We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed when the Meso terminal shut down. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, it is no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. What is troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honour. It is as if their memories have been erased. Or tampered with. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators. But by whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being the Queen of Reason. In that guise, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. So we've got a mystery set up. We need to find out who she really is. While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Oh. Is that not the end of the... Oh no, there's going to be a cutscene here, isn't there? Meanwhile, in living memory... Stola and Shale.
Where am I? My people, are they safe?
So this is the recombobulated Sphene? that? Oh. In fear of death, the people turn to Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. Crossroads. That was a rather unceremonious end to the patch. A pity Stola was not present for Fiend's return. A cursory glance at the imposter's ether would have doubtless been enough to confirm our suspicions beyond a doubt. And Shale's not here. Yeah, that was very abrupt is the word that I'm searching for. That was a very abrupt end to the story. Erenville, why are you standing out here? I think a lot of people took the regulators off, so that will split the population. Of course, promising, only 5,000 of you are going to live forever. First of all, that's a very specific number. It reminds me of... I was going to say, where's living memory? It reminds me of what, and I'm not going to name them, but shall we say certain sects of a particular religion promise salvation to 40,000 or whatever the number is. It's like, hold on. If those number have already been chosen, what's the incentive for the rest of people to follow your I don't like to use the word cult, but it's essentially what it is. I didn't actually recognise which place Stola and Shale were in. I feel like I probably should have recognised it, but I didn't, because I wasn't paying enough attention, I think is the issue. But yeah, that I was hoping that I mean, I don't know why I would be able to catch a glimpse of them. I strongly suspect that Stola and Shale are in trouble. But we're not going to find out for a while. Yeah, what's happened to them? Yeah, I haven't spent enough time in living memory to really recognise the location that they were at. It may not even be a legit location from this area. Yeah, I'm really taken aback by how abrupt that was. I think that's probably one of the shortest, meanwhile, in X things that we've actually had. I was kind of wondering where the backup Sphere was going to be. And I was kind of hoping, I think, that backup Sphere was going to be a more positive force. But of course, that's not how it works. I suspect because, let's be honest, the FF14 community, quote-unquote, can be somewhat negative, shall we say, if the story doesn't go their way. I suspect that there are going to be some people that are miffed that Sphene is back. You know, people that didn't like Sphene as a villain. But of course, people are. You know, I wonder whether people will be happy that there was less Wooklemat in this. Because I don't feel that Wooklemat was present in as many scenes in this, and by all accounts, she's very much splits the player base. Going back then to my thoughts just before the train, or was it just after the train? I can't remember. In terms of what the conflicts are, well, we've now got a much clearer conflict. I think I'd forgotten. No, I hadn't forgotten about the Crown. I think I was just expecting them to save that for at least a little bit later. But I suppose now I look back at the kind of progression of this patch's story, starting everything with death and the inability for the populace to mourn properly or move on, and then the funeral, that should have actually twigged in the back of my brain. It's like, yeah, so this is what they're going to bring Sphene back to deal with. But for her to repeat the idea of, let's turn everybody into endless, that will mean that you don't have to mourn. I mean, yeah, she's not wrong, technically, but is it Sphene? Is it somebody working through Sphene? Yeah, there are multiple active questions here as to the nature of this rebooted or restored Sphene. Now, the question of timeline I find interesting, because we saw the Sphene returned and stumbling into Stola and Shale, but where was that in relation to us meeting... No, where? When was that in relation to us meeting Sphene in the plaza? Because, they do play fast and loose with time in the cinema of this storytelling. But generally speaking, when something has happened in the past, they do point out that it happened in the past. Meanwhile is a word that means concurrent. It means at the same time as this happening, this is also happening. So it sounds like they've known that they've had Sphene back for at least a few hours. Or maybe the whole point is that they were just being regulated as we turned up. But yeah, I mean, this place is still dead, so the glowy crown, I mean, that was featured pretty prominently in the kind of look at Sphene that we got. And was her outfit different? I don't know, I kind of feel like it was. I need to go and compare the two of them. I feel there were some slight differences to it. Is she an older model, or is she a physical recreation? Rather than a kind of an illusion built onto one of the robots. The backup copy. I had hoped that they were going to not redeem Sphene, but at least try and do what they're doing or trying to do with Bakul Jar Jar. Making up for his sins. The other possibility, I suppose, here is that the Sphene we saw in the meanwhile and the Sphene that we saw in the city are not the same Sphene. It's possible that the Sphene that has... Because let's be honest, the Sphene that we've just seen sounded completely confused, completely out of it. So, wild theory, the crown that we saw in the post-credits bit in Dawntrail. That was a backup copy that has enabled a physical copy of Sphene to be created, and somebody is using that. And maybe the Sphene that we've just seen in the Meanwhile section is actually the real a real remnant of Sphene that has been inadvertently created as part of the process. And we're going to have a Sphene versus Sphene off. That would be quite interesting to me, I think. Maybe a little bit cliche, maybe a little bit tropey, but this is Final Fantasy we're talking about. You know, the series that absorbs and uses and catalyses tropes. I'd quite like that, a Sphene versus Sphene showdown with, you know, the last vestige of Sphene's humanity that Wookiee actually appealed to and got through to, versus this version of Sphene, this backup of Sphene that is being used for potentially somebody else's ends, or maybe she's just fragmented. Maybe what's left of her is split. And I suspect that is why they left it there rather unceremoniously and rather abruptly, because it gives us the opportunity over the next 3 months to speculate just what could be happening next. I don't know whether any of this was in the trailer. I still haven't watched the trailer. I'm probably not. Well, no, I'm not going to watch the trailer, I don't think, until the other little bits of content that are due to release have come out. And just to remind myself of that, because I actually have forgotten, what was it that we haven't got? So we've got Futures Rewritten Ultimates, which is 7.11. Custom Deliveries and Hildebrand is 7.15. Cloud of Darkness is 7.15. Additional role quests. The fact that that is plural. Not like an additional role quest has been added. Not like the one that they've done previously where after you've done all of them you get an extra one to kind of sum things up. Extra role quests, plural. Releasing in 7.16. But I think I have otherwise done all the content from 7.1 that I am planning on recording. I don't think there's anything else that's like, oh yeah, I need to go and do that as well. I've done the raid. I've done the MSQ. I've done the dungeon. I need to go and get some tomestones and upgrade my gear a bit, because if history is anything to go by, next patch I won't be able to do the dungeon in this gear, because didn't we need 695 in order to go in, and I'm barely above that. Oh, and I can go and finish doing the Mandeville stuff as well for the glamour, because I haven't done that yet either. And I also need to do the third Myths of the Realm 24-man raid, because I still haven't done that, and I still don't know how that story ends, and I feel like I've caught accidental spoilers of people talking about that, but I don't really remember them or know the context for anything. But I did hear somebody say something about you don't get to spend as much time with the last few gods. But again, I don't know the context because I haven't done the quests. Either way, that is probably the end of my patch 7.1 coverage, but there will be more 7.1x stuff. I mean, this Shadow of Darkness Chaotic sounds like it's going to be a kind of hard mode version of the Cloud of Darkness fight from the Crystal Tower, which I really liked. Whether it's going to be huggable, don't know. Because there's no way I'm sorting out a static or anything like that. I just don't play this game enough to what's the word I'm after? Commit to that kind of thing. But if it is something that, you know, I could go into a duty finder and play, yeah, I might give that a go just for the lulz. I'm not good at this game, but that'd be interesting. Yeah. Kept me guessing, that one. We'll see what happens next time, I guess. Next patch, rather. 7.2. 7.2 will bring another tier of the Arcadian, hopefully with some better glamours than we've got from this one. It'll bring a new dungeon. It'll bring new MSQ, new side quests. Can't remember what else comes in a 0.2 patch. Doesn't matter. I'm just waffling at this point. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed my 7.1 coverage, or MSQ coverage, or however the hell I've split this apart, because I haven't done any of it. Sorry I sound really rough. Sorry there's no camera, etc, etc, etc. I need to go and have a lie down now. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Stay fabulous. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.